And we will be ready for the start of the game a little bit early today.
You know, and for those of you that didn't get a chance to get up last year to Grant Chute for Craig's state tournament game, a lot of these names, if you got a chance to listen on the radio,
very
familiar. A lot of these Burlington names are going to be familiar, yep.
Opening pitch from Nick Kramer is over for ball one, taken by Campbell. Craig in the whites today, Burlington with the visiting orange. Second offering from Kramer is over for strike one.
Demons come in on a roll, 14 in a row, haven't lost since April 19th to Delavan Darien in a conference 19th. Game. And, you know, again, it's ho-hum for the Demons.
Nice change of pace from Kramer, swing and a miss. It's 1-2 to Campbell. And you and I both, I mean, we did that game last year in Appleton, and you and I both looked at all those batting averages. And I talked with Coach Herbst about that. Is the strength of the conference not being very good and players just mashing, or I mean, there's got to be some real talent if you win the state championship?
Yeah, I think it's a little combination of both, and I think when you get to state, you know, you're seeing things you don't see all year long, especially better pitching than you've probably seen up to that point. But you know, you and I both thought when Craig got those 3 runs in the first inning last year, the way that they had been playing, that they'd been in pretty good shape, and as it turned out, Jacob Lindemann, who is not pitching today, is playing first base despite Tommy John surgery in October, a little over 6 months removed from surgery. But,
hit to second. Berghammer fields the ground ball on a 3-2 pitch. And over to Malmanger at first. Craig's defense, Kramer on the hill with Jacob Campbell behind the plate. Infield from left to right, Dan Blomgren at third base, Jack Blomgren at shortstop, Noah Berghammer. A good job on the mound last night against Verona at second. Luke Ballmanger at first. Left field, Caleb White. Austin Krause is in center, and Ross March will be hit for in the Cougars lineup, but he is in right field. And now Dale Damon, the third baseman, in for Burlington. Kramer starts him off with the ball low and inside.
Another guy that, you know, very successful last year, you know, one of the leaders of getting them to a state title. And when you can bring that many good kids back, and Craig's kind of in the same boat, it just makes it easier, especially in the off season, because you know you've got so much going back that you can just gear up for the season.
Right.
You're not worried about who's going to play where and who's going to pitch, because basically those slots are already filled.
2-0 pitch is up high for a strike, taken about a little bit below the letters, strike one. 2-1.
That's I got to get out of here early kind of strike right there, and that's okay.
Well, hey, nothing more glamorous for you last night than an hour and 15 minutes.
No,
is that what it was?
Hour and 15. You could not have scripted any better. The game started right at 5 o'clock, and I was driving out of Riverside Park at 6:20. It was incredible.
3-1 the count as that last pitch missed high and outside. Kramer comes back low and inside, and Damon aboard with a free pass. So Burlington with its first base runner this afternoon, and now Aaron Sturdivant, the catcher, will hit.
And again, Nick Kramer, you know, out on the mound, hasn't had a lot of innings. Simply because, you know, he was batting a little bit of a shoulder issue. I don't think they were overly concerned with it in the sense that they've got enough other pitchers that they can use. But I think as you get into the postseason, Nick Kramer's probably going to be a guy that, you know, Craig's going to have to lean on a little bit.
So runner on first. That swing and a foul back on the first pitch from Damon.
And it's interesting with Austin Krause. Just not only has he had a great year offensively, but you know, you look up and every time I write his name down, he's playing someplace else. Today he's in center field, second base, third base, left field. You know, it just his versatility is so good and so crucial to this team's success because they've needed him on the mound. And today, you know, playing center field is not easy.
No.
And you know, I saw Nick Kramer make a great play out there yesterday, and to have that much confidence in a kid like Krause says a lot about his talent.
That one tomahawked to right field is drifting and will fall foul as giving chase was March. Well, and I talked with Coach Herbst about that, about the Parker game. You know, Evan Spry goes out with an injury. Berghammer switches to shortstop. Krause comes in to play second. Blomgren pitches almost the entire rest of the way, and the defense really doesn't miss a beat after Brennan is pressed into service in right field.
No, and they haven't missed a beat all year, and that was the one thing that Berghammer, you know, talked about last night after the game was just it's so easy to pitch for Craig because your defense is so good behind you that you don't have to try to strike everybody out. All you have to do is pitch to contact because you know the defense is going to make plays behind you. And he said, I went from being a kid that felt like I had to strike everybody out to now when I come in, I don't worry about strikeouts. I just pitch it and hope that there's strikes.
He said pitch to contact.
Yep.
2-2 the count to Sturdivant. Here comes Kramer. Curveball is fouled back over the Demons dugout. And we're going to need more baseballs.
And I think, if I remember correctly, I think Vic said Berghammer was in the low 80s last night for a pitch count. So, for a 7-inning game, and again, there weren't a lot of walks. Kids were up there swinging the bats. The defense was good, and hence that's why we had an hour and 15-minute game.
Still 2-2 to Sturdivant, the Demons catcher. Runner fakes a go, and a cue ball shot just pushed foul. Malmanger has that about 3 feet in front of the base, but again, in foul territory. It'll stay 2-2.
And that, Nick Kramer, certainly his curveballs is out pitch, but he's got to get that down. I mean, he can't leave it up there. Burlington hits the ball too well, and they will take advantage of that at some point. So if Nick can get his curveball down and keep it down, but in the strike zone, he's going to have success today.
2-2 is the count. Here comes Kramer again. Trails outside, 3-2 now. So a full count to Sturdivant. Lindemann on deck. The big, bulking man of a player down there. He's a big boy.
A shocker, a Wichita State shocker.
Yep. 3-2 pitch. Here comes Kramer. That bounces in the dirt. Campbell's got to hustle to keep Sturdivant just to one base, but he tracks it down as it trails back to the fence. But a second straight walk issued by Kramer, and Damon down now to second. Sturdivant on first, and Lindemann, the first baseman, will now bat.
And a lot of times when a kid hasn't had a lot of innings, this is what you see. You just control is a trouble early on, and that's what we're seeing with Nick Kramer. He's back-to-back walks, and if I remember correctly, that state title game, I don't think he walked anybody. So, just a matter of getting comfortable on the mound, maybe moving a tad over on the rubber and just trying to get to a point where, you can throw strikes and throw it out of consistent bases.
Number 12, Sean Safer.
So Sean Safer will courtesy run for the catcher Sturdivant over at first as Lindemann steps in. And Burlington already in business here in the top of the first inning with one out. Kramer checks the runner at second. Nobody holding him as of yet. Blomgren faking a move over there. Now Kramer comes, check swing, and a foul back to the screen by Lindemann.
And Lindemann came into that state tournament game last year with some pretty lofty credentials. And, like we talked about, Craig got to him for 3 runs that first inning. But, boy, he was lights out after that.
But like you said, we thought they were off and running. But at the same time, you can't, you don't have those collective batting averages just to go away quietly in the state tournament. So 0-1, Kramer ahead of Lindemann. Here is the second pitch. Up high fastball, and it's fouled back to the netting. Quickly 0-2 now to the Burlington first baseman, Jacob Lindemann.
Not sure, Burlington obviously good athletes and kids that like to run, but with Jake Campbell behind the plate, not sure how many kids we're going to see in motion today on the bases for Burlington.
0-2 is a pitch out.
And that was a play designed to throw behind the runner. But
and Coach Herbst talked about that, all the back picking that they do work on in practice. They cut down 2 Vikings on Thursday, including one to end the game on a strike him out, throw him out.
Yeah, and they cut one down last night from Verona, even though Mr. Murphy will attest to it. It was a terrible call because he never tagged him. But
still,
needless to say, they called him out. So another one for Jake last night.
1-2 pitch. Lindemann ropes one into left field. Runner's going to come around, and Damon is going to score. Runner will be held at second base. Will Sturdivant, and it's quickly 1-0 Burlington on an RBI single by Jacob Lindemann.
Yep, and again, he tried to get the curveball by him, but he left it up too much, and Lindemann pounded it into left field. Dan Blomgren playing pretty close to the line there, and I got to believe if he's at his normal spot, he may be able to field that.
Maybe backhand that?
Yep, it was, in the hole far enough and, out in left field playing deep enough where, they couldn't make a play.
Well, now the DH, Trent Terzenski, will hit. Still runners on first and second. 1 run is in. There's 1 out for the Demons. Terzenski hitting for the pitcher, Drew Pesic. Kramer throws outside.
This is a big spot for Nick because, like you said, with the 5th game this week, I think Vic would just as soon get, 3-4 innings out of Nick today and not have to go to his bullpen early. And, again, I'm not even sure who their next option might be.
Pitch hit right up the middle. Blomgren ranging, flips to Berghammer. They're going to try to go to first. Double play, and Craig gets out of it. Blomgren flips to Berghammer, and a good turn for the Cougars, as Craig will give up 1 run on 1 base hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We're through 1/2 inning. Burlington 1, Craig coming up. Janesville Craig batting order for today. 17-2 are the Cougars, 12-2 in the Big 8 Conference. Leading off will be the shortstop, senior Jack Blomgren. Hitting second, senior Austin Krause. Again, he's in center field. The DH hitting third will be senior Evan Spry. Jacob Campbell, the catcher. He's a junior, will hit fourth. And then in the fifth spot, junior Noah Berghammer at second. Hitting sixth, junior Luke Malmanger is at first base. In the seventh spot is senior Nick Kramer, who's doing the pitching. Caleb White in left field will hit eighth. He's also a senior, and sophomore Dan Blomgren batting ninth. He is at third base. Ross March is being hit for today. He's the right fielder. That one bounces about 2 feet in front of home plate and gets by Sturdivant to even it up in 1-1. Blomgren took a strike to open his at-bat.
And obviously a familiar lineup for the Cougars, one that, if you followed them this year, this really hasn't changed. And there's a
base hit for Blomgren just out of the reach of a diving Damon over at third base. And Blomgren aboard with a single, and I think everybody knows that he might take maybe a pitch or two, and then he's out of there.
Yeah, he's up to 200 stolen bases for the year, I think?
24.
That's crazy.
He's been caught never.
I can guarantee you there are teams in the state that won't come anywhere close to that many bases stolen
total
for the year. Yes.
Up and down the lineup. First pitch taken for a strike by Austin Krause. Krause, one of the best batting averages on the team so far this year at 377, but you've got a couple of players north of 400 that are everyday players. Throw back, and Blomgren is caught off. He slipped. He's going to be in a rundown, and the tag is applied as Lindemann chases him down. So there's out number 1 for Janesville Craig, and promising start for Craig. Now is going to be left to the 2, 3, and 4 hitters.
Yeah, and a nice move by Drew Pesic there, and I think more than anything, like you talked about, I think Blomgren just got a spike caught, and I think when he went to go back to first, that caught, and momentum kind of took him over.
Little looping line drive right to the second baseman, Kanan, for out number 2. So 2 down in the inning after the single by Blomgren, and now Evan Spry will hit.
And I think Blomgren was ready to go on the play. I mean, I think he got caught lean a little bit, and again, let's see if Spry can get things going with two out.
Well, Pesic so far has pounded the strike zone. He's hit a first pitch strike for each of the first 3 batters.
And for a team like Craig, that's good because they're aggressive. They want to get their cuts in. And
there's a strike in the outside corner, 0-2 to Evan Spry. I was talking with Coach Pat Campbell about batting practice. I guess Spry has never hit one out before a game when they take BP. He hit 2 out today, and the wind's blowing in.
Wow.
So that arm injury that he suffered on Thursday clearly not affecting his bat.
Yeah, and it's a little impingement on his right front shoulder. I mean, they were kind of talking about it yesterday. It's, they're hoping it's just an aggravation more than anything, and that he can work his way through it with a little, R&R and hopefully, get a little bit of therapy on it, and he'll be okay because obviously they're going to need him in the stretch run.
2-2 count to Spry. That one in the dirt and blocked by Sturdivant. So Spry's run at full now on Pesic. Having another good batting average this year at .421. That's not bad.
Not bad, and that's probably why Creighton came calling because
that one taken for ball 4. And Spry works a 2-out walk, so another runner for Janesville Craig and Jacob Campbell, the catcher.
And this guy's hotter than any of them right now.
That double that he ripped to start the beginning against Janesville Parker on Thursday night, he just absolutely smoked it down the line.
He's not getting cheated, let's put it that way.
Nope. That one gets by Sturdivant, and down to second will go Spry. Should be a pass ball.
That will be a pass ball and a break for the Cougars because Spry in the hole 0-2 works it to a walk, and now a pass ball's got him at second with your best hitter up to bat, and he's been Mr. RBI all season long. So dang well if Mr. Campbell can get the ball in the green in the outfield that Spry's going to score.
1-0 pitch. Trails just outside, and it's 2-0 to Jacob Campbell.
And again, you're not going to pitch around him, but with a base open, and clearly Burlington knows this is their best hitter.
You don't want to give him anything to hit.
Yeah.
That one inside, and it hit him. Just grazed Campbell's arm. So we're going to get a hit by pitch, and now there's going to be 2 on for Noah Berghammer. But and here's the thing that you and I have talked about a lot, and also that Coach Terps loves about us. There's not a bad hitter up and down this lineup.
No,
I mean, anybody can come through for you at any at-bat, any inning.
No, and that's what you got to have, and that's why they're 17-2 for that very reason.
So 2 on, 2 out, and Berghammer takes a first pitch strike again, so that's 5 batters.
And after Campbell got hit, they checked the ball to make sure the ball was all right, because certainly it didn't affect Campbell at all.
Yes. The ball has stitch marks.
Yes.
Curveball drops inside. Berghammer again doesn't budge. It's something we noticed again in the Parker game, that no matter how close those pitches get to him, he does not flinch or bail out of there at all.
Nope.
He'll just watch it go by. 1-1 pitch. Here comes Pesic again inside. 2-1. 2 on and 2 out. Burlington got 1 in the top half. Craig trying to tie it or take the lead.
And I think Pesic a little bit frustrated right now, because I think he thought those last 2 curveballs got enough of the plate to be a strike.
Well, and certainly the one to Spry,
yep,
because the catcher framed that up quite a long time. And a pretty good move there to second, but Spry knew nobody was really in the vicinity to cover the base. Pesic whipped around to try and keep Evan close. 2-1. Pesic now comes. Berghammer shoots one to right field, and it's going to be over the head and past Morrow. It's going to go all the way to the corner. Craig's going to have the lead. 2 runs are going to score, and now into third base is Berghammer with a 2 RBI triple.
Yep.
What a piece of hitting by Noah Berghammer. Waited back and drilled that way over the right fielder's head.
And that's good for him. He's the one guy that's not scuffling, but just probably doesn't have the average where he thought it would be at that point. But like you said, a great piece of hitting, went opposite way. The right fielder, I think, miscalculated a little bit, and
it was on a line.
His head. And once he got over his head, the way Noah runs, that was easily going to be a triple. I thought for a minute there, is there a chance he can get inside the park home run?
Well, there was not even a throw to third base. And now the batter will be Luke Malmanger, the first baseman. So 2 are in. Craig has the lead, as Malmanger will hit with 2 out and a runner on third.
And this has been the key for the last, I would say, 2 weeks, and really all season long, but specifically the last couple of weeks.
2 out hitting?
Is the 2 out hits. Yep. I mean, this inning looked dead after Krause popped out, weakly to second, and then all of a sudden Spry's in the hole 0-2. Now we look up, and Craig's got 2 on the board, and there's another base runner.
Another hit by pitch, as Malmanger was behind 0-2 to Pesic, and Pesic hit him, so now runners at the corners. A second for a third free pass. Two batters hit and a walk issued by Pesic in this inning, and now Kramer will hit with runners at the corners and 2 down.
Yep, and a big spot here for Nick. Help your own cause and get a couple runs in. And
here's the pitch from Pesic. First pitch, Kramer fouls it back and out of play first base side.
And Pesic's really trying to work the corners, especially inside. And
that's interesting when he hasn't gotten a couple of calls to go his way, but still trying to pound those corners.
And the Craig kids aren't really, it's not a real concerted effort to get out of the way. It's the old,
There's a smash to center, but coming on and making a lunging catch in center field is Zach Campbell to retire the side. But for Janesville, Craig, we got 2 runs in the inning on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Craig has the lead. We're through 1, 2-1 Cougars. 2-1 Cougars lead, and up for Burlington will be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. So Grant Tully will start it off, the shortstop.
Leading off for Burlington in the top of the second inning, shortstop Grant Tully.
So Tully will hit as Kramer back on the mound. He's into the lineup. First pitch of the inning is taken for a strike. Kramer had a little bit of trouble last inning.
A little bit, but, I think getting the 2 runs behind him and having a lead again, that.
Whoa!
Whoa! Wow. That
is a Nuke LaLoosh pitch if I have ever seen one. If
Yeah,
there was a mascot back there, he would be dead.
If there was a bird on the fence nesting, it would be dead as well.
So that one about 12 feet high.
Yeah.
And about 8 feet out inside. So 1-1 the count. Here comes Kramer, squares for bunt, and Tully fouls it back towards the Cougar dugout.
I think that was a message pitch after two Craig kids were beaten in the first inning.
Clearly,
said,
yes.
You know what?
I'm not
going to hit you, but I'm going to hit this light tower that's 5 feet behind you here because
that's what it was?
Yep.
Striking
that's what it was.
Fear into the heart of the demons.
Yep, he does. They don't know where the next pitch is coming. It makes it tough to hit.
1-2 pitch from Kramer. Curveball is hit to left.
Anicorn.
And coming in with the wind blowing in is Caleb White to make the catch. 1 up and 1 down for Trey Krause, the left fielder.
Left fielder, Trey Krause.
Left-handed Krause in the batter's box. A veteran umpiring crew today.
Each team with a Krause, each team with a Campbell.
There you go.
Wow.
Kramer's first pitch, low and inside. Snagged by Campbell. Got a decent crowd here. Got a great day for ball.
Wow. Perfect day. Bottle and sell this day.
1-0 pitch. That's taken for a ball up high. 2-0 to Krause. Derek Kanan, the second baseman, will bat next. That one floats outside. 3-0.
And again, it's just that lack of control right now from Kramer, and I think it's more an inning just because he hasn't been on the mound a whole lot this spring.
There's a strike on 3-0. He comes back. Check Kramer's numbers here. 3-1 coming back. Here comes Kramer. That one inside, so a 1-out walk as Krause heads to first. Kanan, the second baseman, will step in. Kramer so far coming into the game had only pitched 8 total innings, gave up 3 hits, 6 earned runs, and issued 14 walks. That's first on the team.
Yeah, that's almost 2 an inning, and that's just a matter of finding your comfort zone on the mound. And right now it's a little bit up and down for Nick, but Nick's heading to lacrosse next year, going to play baseball.
Awesome
for the Eagles, and I don't think you'll see him on the mound.
No,
but,
I would say not.
He's certainly a kid that's going to help that program wherever they decide to put him. Anywhere in the outfield, he could probably play first base if he had to, and just a competitor. It's been a pleasure to watch him as a 3-sport athlete.
That one taken for a ball as well. It's 1-1 after a foul away from Kanan. Opponents are only batting .111 against him, so he might issue a few walks, but not many people getting hits off of him, just at least in the 8 innings he pitched beforehand. That one sails high, and Kramer visibly frustrated now on the mound as whether he's hanging on to the ball too long or is just upset with his windup and approach and delivery.
Well, if he loses this batter, I got to believe Pat Campbell, the pitching coach, will go out there and talk to him. And no activity yet in the Craig bullpen. And again, the next option might be somebody that's already in the game.
2-1 pitch, low, blocked by Campbell. 3-1. Derek Morrow, the 9th batter and right fielder in the on-deck circle. 2-1. Cougars were in the top of the first against Burlington. Demons get 1. Craig comes back with 2. 3-1 pitch. Hit to second, a little dribbler. Berghammer's going to have to hurry. Kramer picks it up, whips it to Malmanger, and the out recorded at first. So Kramer chases that ball down, grabs it from behind, and then spins and throws over to Malmanger for the fielder's choice.
And again, that's just a great indication of the athleticism that Nick Kramer brings whenever he does, because that's not an easy play. Probably a ball Berghammer should have. But Kramer hustles over there, turns around, and, kind of in one motion makes the throw to first right on the money to Malmanger and beats him by a step. So a big out for Craig, and now with a number 9 hitter, chance to get out of the inning without any damage.
Kanan, the second baseman, the second out, so now the right fielder Morrow will bat. And he takes a ball on the opening offering from Kramer. So runner at second, that's Trey Krause, who was aboard with a walk. 2 down. And here's the pitch. That one up high. Well, they're going to have to, I think, look at somebody coming in at some point, even if he keeps him off the board, because his pitch count has got to be.
Yeah, and when you haven't thrown a lot of innings,
right.
The last thing you want to do is tax somebody's arm, with the tournament around the corner.
Mm-hmm. 2-0 pitch, squares to bunt, takes little off the corner for ball 3, as the umpire indicated.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of umpires do that.
No.
Usually it's just a ball or a strike, unless you're asked where was it.
Right. I don't know why. I've never seen an umpire explain his strike zone.
No, you shouldn't have to do that.
So 3-0 to Morrow, the right fielder. Top of the order due up next. Here's the pitch. Taken for a strike. He's hit the zone on both 3-0 pitches he's faced.
He has, but again, the pitch count's, piling up, so to speak, and you're at the 9-hitter here with the big lumber coming up behind him. So this is a big at-bat for Nick Kramer. He needs to get this batter here.
3-1 the count. Kramer comes. Oh, no, they almost had him picked off.
I don't like to look ahead, Josh, because there's a lot of baseball left to play.
Look ahead for me, John.
If these two teams do make it to state, once again, they would meet in the semifinals.
Right, they would see a quarterfinal loss last year?
Yep.
Okay.
Both teams are in the same, the lower bracket at state, and they would meet in the semifinals if they got that far.
All right. 3-1 the count as Kramer steps off. Krause drifting a little bit away from second base. There he has what he wants. Comes set out of the stretch, and the pitch. Lone outside, and another walk as Morrow heads to first. Both runners aboard via the free pass, and back to the top of the order in Zach Campbell.
Center fielder, Zach Campbell.
Campbell also a lefty, rounded out to Berghammer to start the game. So 2 down. Craig trying to get out. With runners on first and second.
And now it does look like they've got somebody down in the bullpen warming up for the Cougars. So just inconsistent right now. And you can tell that Nick's struggling right now within himself because, you might have a good bullpen session before the game or you might feel good in warm-ups. But when you get out there and pitches just aren't locating where you want them to, it makes it difficult.
1-0, way high and outside, 2-0. That brought Campbell out of his crouch.
And I think Vic Herbst just said, hey, go chat with him a little bit so we can
give our guy some time.
Give our guy in the bullpen a little time because I think the leash is pretty short right now. And again, not what Vic wanted from Nick if he can't get out of here because he needed him to eat up some innings this afternoon with a 5th game and back at it early next week. So it's too bad because, you and I have seen what he's capable of doing 2 years ago when he pitched a complete game against Kimberly in the championship game, but it's just one of those days where he just doesn't have it.
Hey, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. There was one that comes over on a 2-0 pitch for a strike. 2-1 now to Campbell, the center fielder. Two down, first and second for Burlington. Kramer comes to the plate. Strike 2, looking.
Yep.
2-2.
Back-to-back good fastballs. And, maybe if that's what you're throwing for the strike right now the most, stay with it. I mean, that's all you can do. You can't try to get cute with that curveball because if you can't throw it for a strike, the last thing you want to do is get a full count with runners on base because then they're in motion on the next pitch.
Here's the pitch. Curveball hit to second. Berghammer has to range. He scoops it on a hop, flips over to Malmanger, and the side is retired. So for Burlington, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We're through 1.5 at Veterans Field at Riverside Park. Craig 2, Burlington 1. Josh and John down at Riverside Park, just looking at the Craig schedule. We were talking about that off the air. And they've canceled that Oregon game which was scheduled for Monday. And they have rescheduled that game against Jefferson, correct?
Right. The Jefferson game, I believe, is they're going to try to get in that following Monday. I think it's the 21st or the 22nd, something like that.
So other than that, there's 4 conference games left, and that's it. First pitch, laid down a bunt, third base, and has to pull Lindemann off the bag. And a first base hit for Caleb White to start off the inning on a bunt down to third base.
Yeah, perfectly executed there. He put it in that little taller grass and That thing died, and the third baseman had no chance. And White, being left-handed, beat it out. And I think you may see another bunt here from Dan Blomgren.
So Blomgren will be the batter. After that, it's back to the top of the order. Here's the pitch. In for a strike from Pesic. So 2 base hits for Janesville Craig. Now 3, rather, with White's bunt. And they own every column. Runs and the hits. Nobody's had an error just yet. Another good move from Pesic. He's got a decent move back to first.
He does. And again, we know how much Craig likes to run.
Yep.
A lot of that's dictated by the move by the pitcher and certainly the arm of the
catcher.
catcher.
Quick move. He just stepped on the rubber and then quickly turned and fired back to first base. White in with a head-first slide.
And Vic also likes to hit and run, so we'll see, some sequence of this at bat what he decides to do.
High and tight. Blomgren just noticed that late it was coming toward his chin. Bows out of there. Woo!
Well, especially after watching the guy from, where was it? The Diamondbacks last night take one in the lip.
Really?
Split his lip wide open.
Oh,
Iannetta. Watched that on the highlights at ESPN late night.
Good grief.
He was down and immediately attended to him, but I'm sure there's going to be some oral surgery for that.
Yeah, I would say
man.
so. 1-1 lands on the outside corner for strike 2. 1-2 now. Caleb White at first base and Blomgren behind with Pesic. Dan on the year so far carrying a .359 average for the sophomore. Another check on White. No slide. He's back in safely.
And Dan really kind of a lot like Krause in the sense that he can play anywhere, and we've seen that. Left field, second base, third base. He's pitched a little. I mean, he can throw him anywhere, too.
Pitch taken down low. It's 2-2 now. Craig with a leadoff runner here in the bottom of the second inning. Pesic comes set. Here's the pitch. Blomgren rips one to third. It's fielded by Damon to second, and the relay to first, and they got him. Double play, 5-4-3, and Craig quickly with 2 outs now, and back to the top of the order in Jack Blomgren.
And Dan Blomgren runs good, so that just tells you how hard he hit that ball. And a really, really nice turn there from the second baseman. Keenan just quickly got rid of it there.
Now batting shortstop.
Blomgren.
Jack Blomgren.
Jack opened the Cougar frame in the first with a single and then was caught stealing for the first time this year. But I think he would have been back if maybe he hadn't been leaning.
Well, and I don't see a lot of double plays turned in that regard, the 6-4-3 or the 5-4-3, and we've seen 2 today. So good defensive teams make it look easy, and I think that's what we've seen the first 2 innings because both of those double plays, a lot of teams don't make that play.
Cue ball off the end of the bats and a flip by the pitcher as Blomgren got a late start out of the batter's box, and Pesic tracks it down, flips to Lindemann for the third out. So no runs, 1 hit for Craig, no errors, and nobody left. We're through 2 at Riverside. Craig 2, Burlington 1. Well, it's 2-1 Janesville Craig as the throw goes down to second base from Campbell. And leading off to start the top of the third inning for the Burlington Demons will be the third baseman Dale Damon, who started a pretty slick double play to get 2 outs in that inning just recently for Janesville Craig.
Scored the lone run first inning of the walk and a couple of hits. And
well, as we've seen this year, and I think you could count on it at any level, walks will kill you.
They will kill you.
So Kramer with 4 free passes already in 2 innings and starts high and outside to Damon. But on the other side, there's been 2 hit batters and a walk issued by Pesic. And Craig made him pay for that. Curveball checks the outside corner for strike 1.
Best pitch of the day right there.
That was
Nick
great.
Kramer. A little tantalizing curveball that caught the inside corner, and strike 1 it was.
1-1 pitch from Kramer. Another curve, outside corner again. Same spot.
Yeah, I don't think Damon was expecting either one of those. Certainly not for a strike after he threw into the backstop last inning. So
1-2 pitch coming to Damon. Fastball, high bouncer to Berghammer. Easy bounce to him. about chest high, and he flips over to Malmanger, out number 1. And now Aaron Sturdivant, the catcher.
Aaron Sturdivant.
There's a pattern here for Nick Kramer. He's got the first batter the first 2 innings and then walked the next one. So hopefully that doesn't hold true this inning.
Berghammer with already 3 putouts in the ball game, getting a lot of action. He's also turned to double play.
Actually, that'd be the assist.
The assist, correct.
The putout would be on the first baseman.
Yes.
It's okay. We'll work with you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Still a year and a half in. That's why I only got third base and third place at the WPAs for play-by-play. Somebody listen to the entry. That's not correct. Fouled back 1-1 to Sturdivant.
If I remember correct, I think Sturdivant was the catcher last year.
He had, it must have been a brother playing in the outfield, I believe.
Yep.
1-1 pitch from Kramer, hit to short. Blomgren waits for it, gets it on a nice clean bounce, and throws over to Malmanger. 2 up and 2 down. And the batter will be the first baseman, Jacob Lindemann.
Nick may have found his rhythm a little bit here.
He got
That's
a hold.
Good sign. Again, I think Vic would have been happy to take 4 or 5 innings from Nick today and turn it over to his bullpen the last couple innings. And, if he can have maybe a 7-8 pitch inning this time, that'll save his arm.
Opening pitch to Lindemann is taken. And again, got to make sure we know where you're where you're missing.
Tell you,
here. Yep.
we could just draw him a diagram of where the pitch missed.
1-0. Kramer, a fast worker. That is belted to left center and deep. But going back to the track and in the hole right in front of the 368 sign of the scoreboard is Austin Krause for out number 3.
Mr. Utility says, I got that.
1, 2, 3 go the Demons. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Bottom of the third coming up. 2-1 Cougars. Boys baseball today at Riverside Park. Just awesome. Awesome weather for baseball. Hopefully now this will hold. I still can't believe we got our first game in Craig and Milton. That was probably one of the best days of the spring.
It was.
Back on April 1st.
And again, I think I saw 82 on Tuesday.
Yep.
So.
In the bottom of the third inning.
First pitch taken for a strike by Austin
Finally
Krause.
put the snowblower away.
Empty all the gas out of it and run it. Here's the pitch. Pasick comes back with a ball down low. 1-1 to Krause, who had a little looping liner right to the second baseman, Derek Kanan, back in the first. 1-1 pitch. Strike on the inside corner. 1-2. Pasick's pitch. Hit to short and snagged on the hop. Diving into the hole, and he's safe over at first. And Lindemann objecting to that call with a double take to the umpire, but a great play by Tully, the shortstop.
Yeah, nice play. Went to his knees and came up and made a strong throw, but again, Krause just quick. Beat it out with his speed.
Yep, smothered it with his glove, did Tully, diving into the hole. But good, like you said, good speed by Krause. And now a check on him over at first. He's in sliding. Evan Spry, the DH, will now bat, working Pasick for a walk in the first inning.
Spry is a great hit and run candidate.
There's
a hit and run right there.
Run
just hit foul.
But it goes out of play left field. Parking lot.
Krause got a huge jump there. He was going to, if Spry doesn't connect or lets that ball go, Krause is easily into second with a stolen base.
Augie on the year so far with 14 swipes. It's been caught twice. Back again to first is Pasick. And Krause in standing. 0-1 pitch coming up. Back another check to first.
Glad to hear that Augie's grandpa Jim Krause threw out the
Yes,
first
he
pitch
did.
on Thursday night.
Yes,
And I
he
tell
did.
you what, you won't find a better Janesville High School athletic supporter than Jim Krause. And I wish him the best, and I hope he's on the road to recovery because I've spent many a game sitting next to him, and he knows as much about baseball and basketball as most people.
Well, and I said on Thursday he was the manager for my dad's slow pitch team when I was bat boy way back when down at Dawson. There's a hit to center Back on it is Zach Campbell. He'll make the catch, and Kraus will head back to first base. So Spry makes the first out in the inning, and now Jacob Campbell, the catcher, will bat. And he's always one to sit right next to the media table as well.
Yeah, I always look forward to seeing him because we'd always have a little conversation and talk about strategy and what we think and what was going right and what was going wrong. And if he's listening today, I hope he's doing well. And like I say, he's missed.
Campbell smashes one to center. It's going to be a base hit. One hops Campbell to Campbell out in center field. And now 2 on and 1 out. Not a more productive guy in the lineup the last 2 weeks.
No, and that, sitting in the Craig dugout yesterday during the game, I love to listen to Pat Campbell because he knows the game so well, and he talks about things, and he understands little nuances that are important. And yesterday, Jake had an at-bat where he let a pitch go with a strike that was a fastball, and he called it a strike, and the next pitch he kind of flew out to left field, a weak fly ball. And as soon as he got back to the dugout, the first thing his dad said, he goes, when you get 2 strikes on you, they're going to come curveball. Why let that fastball go? And that's what we saw right there. He jumped on that first pitch fastball because sometimes that's the best pitch of the at-bat that you're going to see. And again, I can't stress enough, Pat Campbell knows more about base. He's forgotten more about than I've ever known. And it's interesting to sit next to him just to listen to, he picks up on the littlest of things that you don't think about. But there's a point right there of it, taking it to heart.
Check's also in the mail. There goes Kraus down to third. Pitch was high and tight on Berghammer, who, again, doesn't really move to get out of the way on a chin-high fastball. But Kraus will head down to third base with a stolen bag.
Yeah, and Campbell probably won't be too far behind unless they executed the double steal yesterday with Spry and Campbell for a run, and we'll see what happens today.
Berghammer in there now. And now they've got Campbell picked off. And the pitcher runs right at him, and that's going to be...
Wow.
I think that's a big failure defensively.
That is a failure.
Wow. So Pasick got basically Campbell right in between. He ran right at him, which you're supposed to do, make the runner commit. And then he whipped around to check on Kraus over at third, and Campbell scooted to second.
Yeah, the thing you want to do there is you always want to run the runner back to the base he's occupying. And in that case, he went after him, and Campbell darted off for second. And, you're worried about Kraus trying to score, and he looked at him, and Kraus made one initial move to come home. But by the time that he turned around, Campbell could just glide into second base. And that's just poor execution there by Burlington, and that's surprising because that's probably something that they're not accustomed to doing.
Overall, fundamentally sound. That one off the handle, and it'll loop to shortstop from Berghammer, and Tully will head back a couple steps on the grass and make the catch in shallow left center. So 2 down for Luke Malmanger.
Yeah, Pesci got in on Berghammer's hands there, and he just that was right off the front of the bat and really nowhere for it to go.
Malmanger hit by a pitch and stranded at first. So this is where Craig has excelled with 2 out base hits. Fastball popped up. It's going to get out of play back over the backstop. And 0-1 now to Malmanger. Craig with the lead, 2-1, all the runs so far in the first inning. We're in the bottom of the third. Craig has 5 hits in the ballgame.
We are not on an hour and 15 pace.
No, we are not. I told you that on Twitter last night, that just is not going to happen.
It's not going to happen, but
hey. Now word from Sturdivant back out to Pesek on the mound.
I think we should yell down at Sturdivant, tell him that we're trying to get back-to-back quick games, and there's no talking to the pitcher.
Hey, I don't mind being out here. I know you got stuff to do. I don't.
I got track meets to type
really?
In.
Okay.
No, I don't care. It's weather like this, I could sit here. We could play 4 games
so I'm
if you
saying.
wanted to, yeah.
So 2 down, 0-1 to Malmanger after the quick word from the catcher with the pitcher. And here comes Pesek again. That's popped up. It's going to stay in play. Lindemann calling for it at first, drifting into foul territory over the line. And the catch made for the third out. So for Janesville Craig, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. We're through 3 to the top of the 4th. Craig with a 2-1 lead. We're in the top of the 4th inning. We're through 3 and another inning, hopefully, for Nick Kramer on the mound for Janesville Craig, who's, I would say, settled down last inning.
Good last inning.
Yep, couple of free passes the inning before that, but 3 up and 3 down in the third.
Word just broke that Bryce Harper has signed a contract very similar to mine, $21.5 million for next year to play baseball. So I can relate to that.
I know, big problems with that contract.
$21.5 million. Holy moly.
First batter for Burlington, Trent Trzynski takes the ball up high.
Craig Athletic Director, Bobby Knight McCormick in the house.
Yeah, going to be taking over baseball duties. You got a new football coach announced in the last week.
Basketball duties.
Yep, or basketball duties, I should say.
Adam Bunderson will fill Ben's role as the head football coach. I think it was a good hire. His teams were fun to, the Craig offense was fun to watch the last couple of years. The defense was lacking, a little undersized, but offensively the Cougars were fun to watch.
Curveball, swing and a miss, and Trzynski about 6 inches away from the end of that one.
Yeah, he missed that. He needed a
tennis racket
bat longer than the one he has to hit that thing.
So 1-2, here comes Kramer. Another curveball. Just got a piece of it. I think I might have caught the umpire a little bit. Are we not keeping the umpire stock with baseballs?
I don't know. Yacht is going to throw it back.
Boy, was that awful.
Throw one back at his pitcher's leg.
He's shaking his head, and he's getting
it
right now.
Pat Campbell just let him have it and say, don't you ever throw the ball back to my pitcher on a one-hopper.
Boy, that was terrible.
That was one of the worst throwbacks to a pitcher I've ever seen.
Kramer into the windup. Here he comes, 1-2. Taken outside by Campbell. 2-2 now the count to Trzynski, who grounded into a double play to end the first inning.
And looked terrible on those. I got to believe he's got to come curveball here because he looked terrible on those two before.
There's one, a swing and a miss. Trzynski is gone to open up the fourth inning. 1 up and 1 down for Grant Tully, the shortstop.
Yeah, he set him up pretty nicely there. Got him 1 and 2, tried to get him with a high heat, and then came back with that tantalizing curve. And 3 bad swings there from Trzynski.
Yeah.
He better get in the cage and work on his curveball hitting because that was a bad at bat.
Straight ball, I hit it very much.
Yes, not so much with the curve.
1 out for Tully. That one in the dirt outside and good for a ball. 1-0 to the shortstop for Burlington, who led off the second with a fly to left. Another one in the dirt from Kramer.
Nobody wants to get the ball.
Clearly not. That's the on-deck batter's job.
Umpire's winded. He's still giving directions on the last pitch where it was.
2-0 from Kramer. Inside for ball 3. It's like we're at a slow pitch. Just making sure you know where
I
it is.
like I'm on the tarmac. He's directing planes.
That one outside corner. Another 3-0 pitch for a strike. 3-1. Hit to first. Malmanger snags it with the backhand. Kramer late getting over there, and Tully hustling down the line, and he beat it.
Yep. Base hit.
Yep.
Nice play there by Malmanger. Just
knocked it down.
Tully too quick. Kramer a little late getting over there, but I'm not sure if he gets there on time if they get him anyway. So base hit for Burlington and a 1-out single.
Left fielder,
Trey Krause, the left fielder, will now bat with 1 out. Burlington's first base runner since the second inning, having gone 4 outs without a base hit. So the left-hander Krause steps in. He worked a walk from Kramer in the second.
And you just wonder at some point, does Burlington test Campbell's arm? You try to get a good jump off of Kramer. I saw that yesterday with Verona where, they stole a base off of Berghammer because he had kind of a high leg kick on a pitch out. And, again, Pat Campbell, when Mr. Berghammer got back to the dugout, said, look, on a pitch out, you can't have the high leg kick.
No, you got to come to the plate quick.
You got to come quick so that we can get the throw down to second. And he didn't, and the left knee came up pretty high, and Verona was able to steal a base because there haven't been many stolen bases on Campbell this year.
2-0 Kramer with the count on Krause. And runner goes. There's Campbell, throw down and a little bit high, and Tully's in there with a stolen base.
Yeah, he runs well. That was a pretty good throw. Got a great jump, and, you just tip your hat there. That's just good base running.
2-1. Pitch was taken for a strike. for Kraus. And now a runner in scoring position at second is Grant Tully. Kraus going to try to knock him in with one down. Kramer's 2-1, high and outside. And it's 3-1. Craig with 2 games next week, and then 2 more in the following week, including that non-conference makeup with Jefferson.
Right.
And 2 weeks of the regular season. That's it.
Yeah, the seeding meeting, I believe, is next week.
Okay.
And, I think it's softball's Wednesday. And
3-1, and now it's a free pass for Kraus. So 2 walks for the left fielder, and Derek Kanan, the second baseman, will now bat with 1 out.
I looked at that a little bit earlier when talking about the seeding meeting and kind of where things stack up. And, baseball's a funny game and a lot of things, but when you look at that Verona sectional that Craig's in, certainly the Cougars are going to be heavily favored to come out of there. I mean, there's West is in there, and they beat Craig once, but, other than that, most of those teams are 500 or so. You look at Beloit, Elkhorn, Fort, Parker, La Follette, Memorial, West, Milton, Oregon, Stoughton, and Verona. So certainly a sectional that, you got to play the games, but Craig is going to be a heavy favorite to come out of that.
Starts Kanan off with a ball, and a curveball now taken in for strike 1. 1-1 to Derek Kanan, the second baseman, who had a fielder's choice that was tracked down by Kramer right near second. 1-1 pitch. Here's the kick. Another curveball, swing and a miss from Kanan. 1-2.
And the kind of the ironic part about it is that Sectional 5, which is the Verona sectional that Craig and Parker are in, matches up at state with the Sectional 6, which is Sun Prairie.
Oh.
So,
all right.
If things played out according to seedings, you'd probably have Craig and Sun Prairie playing in the first game at state.
Another curveball. It pops away from Campbell. Runners will move up as Jake has to whip the mask off and go get that. So now Tully down to third, and Kraus will move over to second base. So second and third now with 1 out and a 2-2 count.
Right, and Kramer tried to get a little cute there and get that curveball, and it got away from him way outside, and Campbell did the best he could to knock it down, but it just took a funny hop and skidded away from him. And a big spot here for Nick.
Kanan calls time in the batter's box. Steps out.
You get Keenan here, you got the number 9 hitter up next, and a good chance to get out of it.
2-2 pitch. Lifted foul out of play over the Burlington dugout, so it'll stay 2-2. Parker off today. They only got in 1 game thanks to a couple of rainouts. They'll make it up with Sun Prairie on Monday.
Yep.
And that game will be here at Riverside. Kramer comes set. Here comes the pitch. Curveball hit past Blomgren at third into left field. And 1 run will score. It's a tie game. And moving to third will be Trey Kraus. So an RBI single for Derek Kanan. And it's tied up at 2 apiece.
Good at bat there by Keenan. Fought off a couple of good curveballs from Kramer. And on that last one, 2-2, Kramer tried to, again, tantalize him a little bit with that curveball inside. And Keenan stayed with it and drove it in between the hole at short and third. And we have a tie game, Josh.
Wouldn't expect anything less between these two teams.
Nope.
I wouldn't expect a tight game. So first and third now with 1 out, and the batter is Derek Morrow, the right fielder, hitting in the 9 spot. Morrow worked to walk back in the second inning. Kramer's first pitch outside. Kramer knows that he's hanging onto the ball maybe a little bit too long on a lot of those outside pitches. And again, showing frustration and asking for the ball back from his catcher, Jake Campbell.
And my guess is, regardless, this is probably going to be
probably
going to be his last inning. Hopefully he can get out of here without any more runs scored and still have a chance to get a win.
Pitch coming, taken for a strike. 1-1. Another ground ball induced double play would be dandy.
Yes, it would. The old 6-4-3.
Kramer comes set. And here comes the pitch. Curveball again over the head of the batter and all the way to the screen. And another run's going to score as Kraus comes in from third on the wild pitch, and it's 3-2 Burlington. Kanan to second.
And I don't know if it's just the grip or what, but that's two of those pitches that just weren't anywhere close to the plate.
Coach Herbst called time, walked out a couple of steps, and now has retreated back to the dugout. So it doesn't look like we're going to get a change, at least right now, and we're going to play on. So runner at second is Kanan. Morrow still at the dish with a 2-1 count and 1 out. Burlington with 2 in this inning so far. A chance to add more. Curveball comes back over but lands up high. 3-1. Yeah, where was that last one? Did he have to extend his arm all the way up? 3-1 the count. Tomorrow, here's the pitch. That one outside. And another free walk to Morrow. He's got 2 walks.
That's it for Nick. That's 6 walks in 4 innings. Yeah. Well, Vic's coming out. Doesn't mean he's taking him out, but certainly got to talk to him and find out where he's at. How's the arm? And, right now it's just been a struggle, and that's going to be it for Nick.
So he takes the ball. We'll get a new pitcher, and
Kraus may come in.
Yeah, Kraus is jogging in from center field, so we'll check the pitching change and the defensive switches for Janesville Craig, and we will return after a short break. We're in the top of the 4th at Riverside. Burlington has scored 2 this inning. There's 2 on and 1 out, and a pitching change for Janesville Craig. We'll return after this from Blackhawk Propane and the Mercy Health System.
From WCLO, Janesville, Beloit.
So the new pitcher for Janesville Craig will be Austin Kraus. He will come in. Kramer will go back to his normal position at center field, so the two essentially will flip-flop. There will be no change in the batting order. I should say no change in the batting lineup. And Kraus inherits a little bit of some work here.
Yeah, he does. But he's been a strike machine all year long. I mean, Vic will tell you that. He's not going to overpower anybody, throw it by you, and have a lot of strikeouts. But right now, you just want somebody that's going to throw strikes and let your defense get you out of the inning.
So the batter will be back to the top of the order, and Zach Campbell, who is 0 for 2 today. 3-2 Burlington leads. First pitch by Kraus drops low for a ball. Maybe a touch more velocity as well on a fastball from Kraus.
Yep. And really, I think if you think about it, the only 2 positions I don't think he's played this year are catch and first.
Kraus checks the runner at second. Comes to the plate. Snap throw down to first. A late tag by Malmanger because he had to get the ball, and it looked like Morrow was back in with the arm. But a close play over at first, and hard to see from the fielding umpire's vantage point.
Yeah, and that's a play that's called in the dugout. Pat Campbell, the pitching coach who's calling the pitches, they'll call that out before the pitch, and Malmanger's got to get to the bag quickly, and Jake's got to make a perfect throw, and they were just a little off on that attempt there.
1-1. That one missed. 2-1. Now to Zach Campbell, the center fielder for Burlington. 1 out. Runners at first and second. Kraus on the mound after the pitching change. That one tapped foul after it hit him in the batter's box. So 2-2 now. Kraus looking to get out of it. Have Craig's lineup go to work. Back in now, Kraus looking at second. Steps on the mound, on the rubber. Runner away from second is Kanan. He looks at him. Pitch lifted to right field. It's back, and it's going to be over the head of Ross March. Kramer tracks it down, throws it into second. 1 run is going to score, and a RBI double for Zach Campbell, and Burlington now with a 4-2 lead.
That ball just kept carrying.
Yeah, it did. I thought that was a fly ball.
I thought it was a can of corn.
Yep.
Left his bat, but it just kept carrying in the wind.
March with a diving attempt over his shoulder in right center and couldn't come up with it. Kramer right there, luckily, to scoop it up and throw it back in quickly. So Morrow to third and Campbell to second.
Third baseman, Dale Damon.
3 runs in the inning for Burlington, and the Demons lead 4-2. And just the 4th hit of the ball game for Burlington as well.
And now you're into the meat of the order as well. Second and third, Craig had to bring the infield in, and you can't give up any more runs because you're not exactly tearing the cover off the ball. So Craig infield in, got to knock off any runs that try to score on a ground ball.
Dale Damon takes a strike in the inside corner, 1-1. Damon today 0 for 1. Worked a walk and scored in the first, and then grounded out to Berghammer at second in the 3rd inning. So 3 runs are in. There's one over the. Oh, and they got him at third on a rope to Jack Blomgren at short. He snags it and flips to Dan Blomgren, and too far off of third base was Derek Morrow, and that's a double play, and Craig gets out of it. So for Burlington in the inning, 3 runs on 2 hits and 3 hits and no errors. 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Burlington now with the lead, 4-2 over the Cougars. We'll return after the bottom of the 4th at Veterans Field at Riverside Park. Janesville Craig now with some work to do after the Demons score 3 in the top of the 4th and now lead Craig 4-2.
Yeah, that could have been worse.
Very much
if
worse.
Blomgren's playing at normal length or normal depth, that probably one-hops him, and certainly you don't have a double off at third. And as it was, because the infield was in, the ball's hit hard but right at him, and the runner on third wasn't able to get back in time.
Kramer will now lead things off as he takes a pitch inside for a strike. A fly out to center field on a rope to end the first inning. Second offering from Pesic, just swung on and looped into left field. Nice little 9-iron there over the head of Damon at third and out of his reach, and an opening base hit for Janesville Craig.
Whatever it takes.
That's
Whatever
it.
it takes.
Caleb White.
Looks the same in the scorebook, and that's a base hit for Nick, and Cougars up to 5 hits on the day now. Always good to get the leadoff batter on, though.
We got 6 hits here.
You got 6 hits.
Come on
I'm
now.
probably wrong. 1, 2,
Kramer back at first.
4, 5. I got 6 hits, too. I just can't add.
Make sure to read the story for all the accuracy.
Read the story, but
all the accuracies.
Any kind of percentages or anything, just remember to move your decimal point over.
Back to first again is Kramer. Pesic checking on. And really, so far today, doing a decent job of holding the Cougar runners. So nobody out. Squaring to bunt is White, but takes a ball on the opening pitch from Pesic.
2-0, and again, a good spot for a hit and run. White's a pretty good contact hitter, and Kramer runs well, so we'll see if Vic puts anything in motion right here. A 2-0 pitch is a good pitch to do it on.
Back again is Kramer at first as Pesic throws over. Dan Blomgren to follow, and then the top of the order. So White stands in.
Dump one over the third baseman's head.
That pitch way outside for ball 3.
2-0. My bad.
Jeez, what is this about adding?
Well, it's just, I guess.
It's not WBA award. I'm going to submit this entry for next year.
Take my shoes off and start counting.
Back to Kramer at first base, and he's in with a head-first slide.
They threw a pitch over to try to get Kramer. That should count as a pitch.
That counts?
Yes.
Again, high and outside on Caleb White. Now it's 3-0. White with a single and was stranded back in the second. Here's the pitch. Squares for a bunt and taken outside. And it's a walk for Caleb White. So now 2 on. First and second with nobody out for Dan Blomgren, the third baseman, who grounded into a double play.
Second walk of the day for Pesic, and I'll go along with the 2 hit batters. And again, Dan Blomgren, despite being a 9-hitter, would be leading off or batting in the top 2 for a lot of teams. So he handles the bat well. He's going to try to bunt. Takes
one for a ball as the runners have to scoot back. Krauser Kramer was almost all the way halfway to third base.
And Lindemann's way up at first, so if he squares around a bunt and then pulls it back and hits it, Lindemann
could
better be wearing a mouth guard.
Here he comes. Lindemann charges that one high and tight on Blomgren. 2-0. Pesic with a little attitude as he gets that one.
Yeah, the wheels have come off a little bit on Pesic here. That's 6 in a row.
So 2-0 the count to Dan Blomgren. And he's going to square again. Lindemann charges up. And that one taken for a strike. Throw down to second base. Kramer in, sliding safely on the throw from Sturdivant. Yeah, Lindemann is almost on the dirt.
He is.
When he finishes running in from first. So taken for a strike, 2-1 now the count.
If he does bunt, he's got to get it down the third baseline.
Oh, absolutely. Lindemann comes in again. Now he stays halfway, and now Pesic comes off after a leg kick. So no pitch, and it'll remain 2-1. Craig, with 2 on and nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth inning, trailing 4-2. That one inside, taken 3-1. I think Kramer's job right now on the base path is to get his uniform as dirty as possible.
Yeah, and get in the head of Pesic and make him think a little bit about what's going on. It looks like they're going to try to run the wheel play if he does get the bunt down, but...
Well, it's 3-1. Here comes Pesic to Blomgren. He gets it down. It goes to the pitcher, and over to first is Blomgren, and he will be out on the throw. So Pesic lays down a sac bunt. And Kramer will advance to third. White up to second. There's one out. And at the top of the order in Jack Blomgren.
Shortstop, Jack Blomgren.
Great spot for Jack. Doesn't strike out. He'll put the ball in play somewhere, and hopefully he can find a gap. Right center, we could run all day.
And you got some wheels on the base path.
Yep, you do. I think a base hit will score them both, unless it's an infield single.
Nobody holding at second. Pesic's first offering is bunted up the first baseline. Lindemann is going to wait for Blomgren. A run will score, and it's 4-3 as that bunt was pushed all the way up to the dirt at first base. And Lindemann didn't have any play but just to wait for Blomgren to get to him.
Yep, RBI ground out for Blomgren, but I don't think that's where he wanted to put that bunt. I think he wanted to put it a little bit more towards second. Lindemann had an easy play, and obviously Kramer's able to come in easily, and Cougars cut the lead to 1.
So now Austin Krause will be the batter. He takes a first pitch strike from Pesic. Just a solid piece of running by Blomgren to hustle down and then kind of hang up and wait for Lindemann to tag him, allowing that run to score by Kramer. So White's at third base. There's 2 outs in the inning. Craig with a run in. Hit to center, but that should be right at the center fielder, Zach Campbell, and that will be the third out. So for Janesville Craig, 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We'll head to the top of the 5th here at Riverside. It's now 4-3 Burlington. We'll be back after this from top of the 5th at Riverside for Burlington. The 3, 4, and 5 spots in the order will bat. It'll start with the catcher, Aaron Sturdivant, who is 0 for 1 today. He's worked a walk, and he's grounded out to shortstop.
About what we expected from 2 of the top teams in the state. Low
battling
scoring,
back and forth.
good defense, clutch hitting, and
Catcher, Aaron Sturdivant.
I think we both expected somewhere around here, 4-3, and it might be the first team to 5 wins this thing.
Opening pitch inside from Austin Krause. And it goes back to the screen. Craig with the advantage in the hit column, but Burlington has the lead. Pitch to Sturdivant, bounces up. And Campbell has that. But quickly 2-0 to the Demons catcher.
And 2 of the 4 runs it scored for Burlington got on via the walk, so it came back to haunt Nick Kramer, and we can close the book on him as well. So Nick will give up 3 1/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 4 runs. They were all earned. 6 walks, and that's the telltale sign of 1 strikeout.
Pitch bounces up. 2-0. 3-0 now. Hit right back up the middle. Kraus has it, and he will run it over to first in an underhand to Malmanger. As that one smoked back at Kraus, but good fielding there.
I think it hit his glove. It's a good thing because it was hit pretty hard. If that would have got his forearm or something, that would have left a mark.
Good reaction, though.
Yep.
So a 1-3 put out there. Jacob Lindemann, the first baseman, will now bat with an RBI in the first inning and a single. And a fly to center in the third. That was deep. He lays down a bunt foul third base side.
Wow, you don't see your cleanup hitter laying bunts down very often.
He just hit one to the warning track in his last at bat.
But hey, that's you can do that when you're going to play at Wichita State. You don't have to impress anybody.
Outside for a ball, 1-1.
And Pat Campbell saw something there. We'll see what's up.
So, and now maybe a little. All right, so we've got a visit to the mound from the Cougar pitching coach. It's 4-3. And a 1-1 count with one out in the top of the fifth. We'll have Craig and Madison Memorial next Thursday, and then we'll wrap it up with Janesville Parker the Thursday after that, and then it's playoff time.
Right around the corner.
Yep.
Hard to believe. Big 8 track meet last night. Quick shout out to Peyton Sippy and Nate Farrell from Janesville Craig. And
nice.
Janesville Parker's Julie Harwig and
winning the shot
winning Big 8 conference championships.
She won by 5 feet.
Yeah, and Peyton Sippy with winning in 2 tough events. I mean, that's the 16 and the 32 is not easy to do on the same night.
Right.
In fact, you don't see that at the state meet. The state meet, one's run on one day and the other on the next day. So shout out to her. She's really come on.
Up the middle by Lindemann, a slow roller. Blomgren has it. A long throw to first, but Lindemann, long legs down the first baseline, and he beat it. That Blomgren had to go a long way for that ball. It was a slow roller behind second base, and a strong throw to first, but just too much time to allow Lindemann to get down.
He would have got you and I, but not Lindemann.
And now head coach Vic Herbst heading out to the mound, and we're going to get another pitching change as Kraus will be gone. So Kraus's day is over, and it looks like he will
go to right field.
Should head to right field, and Ross March should come in. And on the mound for Craig now. I don't have a number. Shouldn't be that much of a choice here.
Was it Wolfley? Yeah, it's Wolfley.
So Mitchell Wolfley will now come in to pitch. We'll take a quick break and step out while he finishes his warm-up tosses. So it's 4-3, Burlington with the advantage, and we'll be back with a pitching change. So Austin Kraus with a bit of spot relief for Janesville Craig, and now Wolfley going to try to shut down the Demons with a little relief work as well.
And I'm not sure. Something just doesn't seem right there because after he got hit with that ground ball, even though he made the play and got him out, it was after the next pitch that Pat Campbell came out there
and maybe
said something. And then immediately after that,
maybe one more batter.
Yep, after the base hit, Vic was out there in a hurry. So I don't know if maybe he took a shot off of his arm or something like that. But in the meantime, Wolfie N, the sophomore right-hander who threw a gem against Middleton on Tuesday. So
he leads the Cougars in innings with 32. He's given up 20 hits, 6 earned runs. He struck out 27 and only issued 13 walks. So pretty good strikeout to walk ratio, and an ERA of 1.31 and a WHIP of 1.03.
And a big, strong kid. In a couple of years, you wait, he's going to be he'll be one of the better pitchers in the Big 8.
So Lindemann on first, and the batter will be the DH Trent Terzinski, who laces one foul up along first base. Got your work cut out for you today, Murph. Wolfley ahead 0-1. Here it comes. Strike 2 looking on Terzinski.
Nice pitch there again.
That was.
Terzinski just doesn't seem to be comfortable at the plate today. You know, he struck out swinging on 3 bad curveballs, hit into a double play his first time up.
outside for a ball. 1-2.
And like I said, Burlington comes in on a 14-game winning streak.
That's
So
nothing to sneeze at. I mean,
they're playing pretty good ball right now, and you got the number 3 team in the state. I'm not sure where the Demons are ranked, and
they're up there, 2 of the top 10. Grounded to Berghammer, over to Blomgren, and another double play flipped by Janesville Craig.
Third of the day.
4-6-3, and the second ground ball double play by Terzinski.
Yeah, like I say, he's having a bad day.
Yeah, a little bit. So 4-6-3 on the putout for Burlington. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. We'll head to the bottom half of the 5th inning, but Burlington still with the lead, 4-3 over Janesville Craig. First pitch to Janesville Craig's Evan Spry is in the dirt for a ball and goes back to the backstop.
Evan Spry.
Spry with a walk and a run scored, and a fly out to center field. That one taken for a ball. Spry, Campbell to follow, and then Berghammer for the Cougars. Pitch for Pasick, over for a strike. 2-1. Brewer baseball for you a little bit later.
Home run derby last night for the Crew.
That a curveball way outside from Pasick. 3-1 on Spry.
Including a guy I'd never heard of, Bogner.
Yeah, I was wondering that myself. Who? 3-1 from Pasick to Spry, low and away. And Spry works another walk, his second in the ball game. And he scored a run last time he got on base.
And I think Scott Staudy maybe... No, he's going to stick with him. I thought maybe he was coming out to...
Well, just returning the ball. He's going to stand there and watch for a while, though. Maybe a short leash.
Yeah, I don't see anyone in the bullpen. Looked like somebody just got up now and started throwing for Burlington. So we'll keep an eye. On his pitch count, he's probably at 75 or so. Riley Nelson getting loose down in the bullpen for the Demons.
Campbell will step in. He's got a single and a stolen base, and he was also hit by a pitch.
Charles Nelson Riley. Remember him? Nats game, yeah.
Uh-huh. First pitch taken for a strike on Campbell. Quick throw back to first. Spry is back. Berghammer in the on-deck circle. Both the 4 and 5 hitters with a base hit today. Inside on Campbell. He takes it for ball 1. Craig still with the hit column ownership, but behind in the run category. But a good baseball game so far today. Checks the runner at first. Pasick comes to Campbell. That's hit to right center, and that's going to be down for a base hit. Spry, it takes a funky bounce. Morrow has to dive to stop it. Spry's on his way to third, and Campbell with another base hit. Now runners at the corners and nobody out.
Jake Campbell with a hard hit ball. Hard to believe.
Yeah, I wouldn't have pegged that.
No, not at all.
So Campbell, a second hit for today.
I don't think there's any question right now if you took a vote. Jake Campbell is the Big 8 player of the year. I don't even think there's anyone remotely close.
Stepping in will be Berghammer. A couple of RBIs and a triple. He lined one to shortstop last time. Squares to bunt. Draws back, but takes it in the outside corner for strike 1. Seven hits for Janesville Craig. And a chance for the Cougars to tie it up or do better this inning. Nobody out, first and third. And the 0-1 pitch coming from Pasick. That taken for ball 1.
Evidently low. Looked like a good pitch,
I guess,
but evidently low. And
long stare from Pasick after that pitch.
The right fielder's learned his lesson as he's now playing about 3 steps in front of the warning track for Berghammer after he laced one over his head.
A little bit closer to the line as well.
Yep. A lot of room out there in right center.
Yep. 1-1 pitch is going to be waited on as Pasick steps off. And concerned about Campbell over there at first base. Now he's back on. 4-3 our score, but Craig threatening. Here's the pitch. It's a throwdown and will be cut off. Campbell in with a stolen base. So second and third now. Second steal for Campbell today as well. And that will push his total to a gaudy 4.
Yep. Well, usually you courtesy run for your catcher or pitcher. And
everybody runs well on this team.
Yeah, they do.
So second and third now, a 2-1 pitch upcoming to Berghammer. He squares and lays it down first base, and it trickles foul.
That was the old safety squeeze there. And again, right idea, but you just – I know you don't like to give up an at-bat, but if you're going to get that down, you got to keep it fair so you don't get yourself in a hole. And now that takes that away from it, so now you just got to go to swinging.
2-2 the count now to Noah Berghammer. Still nobody out. Craig with a chance to put up a nice crooked number.
Yep, put up a lead, get in the lead, and leave it up to Mr. Wolfley to get you out of here with a win.
And the runner stays at third as Pesic fakes a throw. Spry back. He's only about 3-4 steps away. And those are small steps.
Yeah,
I think he could probably straddle and make it back to the bag. 2-2 pitch from Pesic. That's hit into shallow left, and the shortstop can't get it. It's over Tully's head. A run's going to score. Berghammer with his third RBI, and the ball game is tied at 4 apiece. So Spry will score. Campbell to third, and Berghammer aboard. Runners at the corners again. Still nobody out. And Luke Malmanger will be the batter, and I think that will do it for Drew Pesic.
We'll see. Yeah, I mean, that wasn't hit very hard, but, hey, hit them where they ain't.
It's an RBI, and you're on base. So there's a meeting of the minds on the mound with Coach Stoddy. Hasn't made a decision yet, hasn't taken the ball. He'll get about a minute or two before the umpires are going to want to get this thing moving. We're in the bottom of the fifth, and Craig has just tied it up. Second hit for Berghammer and his third RBI.
And again, what was Noah Batten coming in? Does it say there?
Yep. Before today.
Yeah, I think he was scuffling a little bit.
Oh, that's fielding. Good stat layout from both Brian Martin and Vic Herbst. They are meticulous with their numbers. 327.
Okay, so not bad. Not bad.
4 doubles. He had his first triple for today.
Earlier today, yep.
He's also got a bomb, and he's added to his RBI total. He's now driven in 17.
First baseman, Luke Malmanger.
So Malmanger, they're going to stick with Pesic. Malmanger today was hit by a pitch, and he's also popped up to Lindemann at first.
A lot of guys that like to scuffle at 327.
I would say so. First pitch, and it's lifted to right. This should score a run. In right field, catch is made, and there's going to be no play at the plate as Campbell comes in, and Craig retakes the lead at 5-4 on an RBI from Luke Malmanger. Got his job done.
Yep. Good job of hitting there by Luke for an RBI, and the Cougars lead, and 6 outs away from a win.
Berghammer will stay at first. It's only the first out in the inning.
He'll stay at first for about 2 pitches, I would guess.
And the batter will be Nick Kramer. There he goes.
Man.
Almost hit the pitcher, Pesic, as he has to get out of the way. It was thrown on a line and taken on a hop, but Berghammer in safely with a stolen base.
Wow, that could have been ugly.
It's the pitcher.
Wow.
Pesic's not expecting it. All of a sudden has to dive out of the way.
Light pass before him on that.
Pitch was taken for a ball, so 1-0 the count to Kramer, who's got a single and a run scored today, both happening last inning. And now Pesic steps off. Craig definitely getting the minds of the pitcher today.
Yeah, we saw Kraus steal third earlier, so don't be surprised if Noah can get a good jump if he takes off as well.
Pitch to Kramer taken inside for ball 2. There's a lot of good framing here from this umpire.
Yes.
Not something I've seen ever, in fact.
This umpire doesn't look familiar either.
No.
I've been quite a few games, and I don't remember seeing him down here.
There's a strike on Kramer. Well, it looks like he's also umped quite a few games as well.
Yep.
2-1. Craig with a runner at second, only one out. Pesic comes set and comes to the plate. Curveball. Kramer fouls that back out of play over the Cougar dugout. 2 runs in the inning for Craig, and the Cougars now up 5-4 with a total of 8 hits. Neither team has made an error so far. Checks the runner at second, now comes to the plate. Swing and a miss, and Kramer is down on strikes. Second out, Caleb White, the left fielder, will now bat. A single and a walk. He's gotten to third where he was stranded.
First strike of the day for Pesic, and that came on probably his best pitch of the day right there.
Kept it low in the strike zone.
Low in the strike zone. Kramer was out ahead of it, and a big out for Pesic there.
White swings at the first pitch and goes right through it. Strike 1. 2 down for Craig. Whoever watches the film in this inning is probably going to get motion sickness as the wind is completely rattling the iPad. It's like you're on a plane. Check of the runner, and Berghammer is back safely.
Well, feel free to just turn it off.
Oh, I'm sure they'll love that.
They wouldn't care.
No, clearly not. Berghammer dancing off second. Pesic to the plate. Curveball. Winds up upstairs on White. 1-1. Craig with 2 outs. Berghammer again dancing off. Pesic comes and delivers a high fastball taken for ball 2. 2-1 to Caleb White. Dan Blomgren in the on-deck circle. And Mitchell Wolfley, 6 outs from securing the victory. Here's the pitch, high and outside. I'm thinking they might be sticking with Pesic a little too long here.
Well, and again, I didn't look back and see. I know they had a game yesterday with Jefferson, and I'm sure they had conference games on Tuesday and Thursday, unless they were rained out like a lot of area teams were. But that's 4 games in 5 days, and again, I don't know the depth, but when you don't have Lindemann, that takes you one big horse down that you don't have. So
big cut from White, swing and a miss. It's full now, 3-2 with 2 down.
I don't think we're going to see Lindemann pitch today.
I would say you're not going to see him for the entire
think so,
year.
No.
Wichita State will be on the phone
If a guy had Tommy John surgery in October and pitched at some point in the spring, then that's one of the most incredible recoveries of all time.
Hit to center. Charging is Campbell, the center fielder. Now he's got it for the 3rd out in the inning. So for Janesville Craig, 2 runs come in on 2 hits. No errors, and 1 man left on base. We'll head to the top of the 6th inning. We're through 5. Craig now with the lead, 5-4 over Burlington. It's the top of the 6th here at Riverside Park at Veterans Field. Janesville Craig now with the lead after a couple of runs in that inning. Burlington scored 3 to take the lead in the 4th, and now up to the 6th, and shortstop Grant Tully will bat.
I said the first team to 5 would win, and let's see if that holds true, and hopefully it does, because that's a Cougar win.
That would be a good prognostication. Call Jim Krause.
Yep.
Opening pitch from Wolfley is over for strike 1 right down Main Street.
Augie Krause goes 2/3 of an inning, gives up 2 hits, and the rest are all zeros.
All right. Good spot relief. 0-1 pitch from Wolfley, hit to right, but trailing foul and out of play.
And again, I don't know if that hard ground ball got a piece from him or not. I'm not sure. He stayed in the game, so hopefully if it did, it wasn't too bad. Maybe the plan was to go to Wolfley.
Mm-hmm. So 0-2 the count quickly to Tully. He's got a base hit. 1 for 2 today. He's also stolen a base and scored, as well as flied out to left field. 5 hits for the Demons. Wolfley's offering is outside. Now the 1-2 swing, and he just got a piece of it. So we'll stay at that count. Opening batter of inning number 6. Windup and the pitch from Wolfley. Hit to center and just past Berghammer. Little looping line drive there.
Not the guy you want on the bases if you're Craig, because we saw him steal last time, and he is fast.
Yep. Burlington with
Left fielder, Trey
its 6th
Krause.
hit. And now Trey Krause will bat. Worked a walk back in the 4th.
See if the bunt's on here from Scott Staudy.
Tully comes off the base, now retreats. Pitch is taken for a ball inside. Wolfley checking on the runner. Now he'll come to the plate. Bunt attempt by Krause is pulled back, but it's called for strike 1. 1-1.
Danny Blomgren way up on the grass, and I think
Yeah,
he's anticipating a bunt.
Malmanger holding Tully at first. Here's the pitch from Wolfley. Inside corners for strike 2. 1-2.
That'll take the bunt off. Blomgren can move back,
Yep.
probably even with a bag, and go after the 7, 8, 9 hitters if you're Wolfley.
One, two, the count. Here's the pitch. Runner goes, and a foul back to the netting.
Huge lead. Tully runs a base as well, but he got a huge lead there. Wolfley's got to keep him a little bit more honest than that.
Krause steps back in. Wolfley with, or I should say, Tully with just a decent lead. Now he takes a couple of other stutter steps. Now he takes off again. Pitch out. Campbell's throw, and they had him. It was to the right side of the base. Blomgren got it, and the tag was applied, and Tully ran through it, and the ball skirts away into the shortstop territory.
Yeah, we're lucky that Jack Blummer didn't hurt his wrist there.
Right.
Because that
was
the
a
ball
pretty good
got
collision.
to his glove about the
Yep.
same time that Tully was coming by. And
So the tag was applied, but it's knocked out of the glove of Blomgren. So Tully with a stolen base, his second of the day.
and a lot of times for a catcher, caught stealing is one of the most.
There's a fly to right field, and on a line it's caught by Krause, and a good throw into second base will keep Tully there, but a line drive by Trey Krause for it out.
Like to say, getting back to my point,
Yep, go ahead.
You look at how many runners did he throw out. Well, if you're getting a big lead as the base runner, you can't put all the blame on the catcher.
Right.
Let's say if it's 40% that you're throwing out,
Second baseman.
maybe 20% of those are on you, but the other 20% falls on the pitcher.
Now you're creating extra statistical categories
Yep.
to, quantify that.
Yep.
High and outside on a pitch to start the second baseman, Derek Kanan. Well, and we had this conversation when we were heading to a Brewer game on Wednesday. It's no different to me than interceptions that are off your receiver's hands.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's not your fault. You put the ball where it was supposed to be.
Exactly. Even a drop pass,
Right.
same thing.
Swing and a miss by Kanan. 1-1 now. But I don't think they're going to create that statistic. I don't know why. They seem to be creating everything else.
Well, and everybody's different, too. Assist in basketball, you can
Right.
If I give somebody a pass at half court and they go in for a layup, uncontested, I'm not going to get an assist, but technically I probably
I just
should
did because I
gave you the ball.
Right. Kanan calls time and backs out. 1-1. One down in the inning, but a runner at second for Burlington. Here comes Wolfley. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Just barely got a piece of it, but it goes into Campbell's glove. 1-2 the count. Craig trying to get out of here. Maybe add an insurance run or two in the bottom of the 6th, and then close it up in the 9th, or in the 7th, rather. Tully away from second. Here comes Wolfley. It's pulled and yanked down the left field line, bounding up against the fence. Kanan popping his hips on that one and really turning on it.
You know, and it's kind of neat because at this point of the season, you just don't see two teams playing with a combined record of 32 and 3.
Absolutely not.
I mean, that's
and a lot of people aren't going to notice the fact that these are two top 10 teams that are playing on a Saturday afternoon. You know, that with no implications.
Nope.
Wolfley, and now a throw back down. They've got Tully, and he is out at second base. What a throw by Campbell.
It's just what we talked about.
He had to go and turn across his body to get the outside pitch, and he still rifles it back to second. Blomgren there to apply the tag, and another back pick for an out.
Yep, and Wolfley made the pitch exactly where it needed to be, and again, you don't realize how difficult of a throw that is. But Jay Campbell, his time from home to, if it's anything under 2 seconds, which it's normally about 1:95, 1:92, something like that, that's very good. And it's just a matter of transferring the ball from your glove to your hand, and I haven't seen anybody do it that well in a long time.
2-2 now the count to Kanan. Here comes Wolfley. It's popped up, and Wolfley's calling for it. He comes towards the foul line, makes the catch. So 3 batters come to the plate, but 1 hit and a caught stealing at second base. I should say a caught leaning, I guess, if you want to be technical about it. And there's nobody left. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Nobody left on base for Burlington. We'll go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Craig still with a 5-4 lead. Janesville Craig will send up Dan Blomgren, and then we'll turn it over to the top of the order here in the bottom of the 6th inning at Veterans Field at Riverside Park. Craig with a 5-4 lead, scoring 2 runs last inning. They scored once in the 4th, and then 2 more to lead things off in the 1st.
And a pitching change for Burlington.
Yep.
Drew Pesick's day is through. He goes 5 innings, gives up 8 hits, 5 runs. They're all earned, 3 walks and a strikeout, and he'll hand the ball over to Riley Nelson, a crafty lefty.
So Pesick
Now pitching for
exits
Burlington,
on the hook for the
number
loss.
4, Riley Nelson.
8 hits for Craig, and now Dan Blomgren will bat.
Leading off for Craig at the bottom of the 6th
Grounded
inning.
into a double play and also got a key sack bunt
Blomgren.
in the 4th inning. That plated a run for Craig. 5-4 Cougars on top. Late stages of the ball game. Opening pitch from Nelson. Just a bit outside.
Just a bit.
1-0 the count. Here comes the lefty again. Chopper over the mound and into center field. And Blomgren will be aboard with a leadoff hit. And now it'll be Jack back to the top of the order.
Shortstop, Jack Blomgren.
So Dan records the 9th hit for the Cougars. Jack with a productive day. He had a single and also an RBI, despite getting it out in the 4th inning. First pitch outside for Nelson. Thursday back here at Riverside Park, Craig and Madison Memorial. 1-0 pitch. Hit to third. It comes up on the third baseman, and there's going to be no play, as I think Damon will probably tell you that he should have had that one.
That's an E5. But, hey, keeps the inning alive. And first and second, nobody out with 2, 3, and 4 coming up in a good spot here. Augie Krause, the way he handles the bat. Got to believe he's going to be sacrificing here. You'd have second and third with 1 out and your 3, 4 hitters up.
And that's a quick word with
Right fielder,
head coach Vic
Austin
Herbst down the
Krause.
line there. And now the infield coming in to talk about how they want to play this. And now Dan Blomgren coming over to talk to Krause.
And I think when you look at that play there with Damon, it's just a ball he's got to charge. He can't sit back and wait for that in-between hop, and that's what he did. And when the in-between hop came, it ate him up and instead of coming after it and charging. And they weren't going to get 2 anyway, so at least try to get an out. And leaves the door open for the Cougars.
Yep. So Dan Blomgren at second. Jack is at first. Opening pitch from Nelson. Goes over Krause's head. Did that hit his helmet? Yeah, I think it just grazed him. And it's going to be a hit by pitch. Hit him on the shoulder. All right.
Wow.
And
He
so
has a good dentist because that almost hit him.
well, he squared and opened up his entire body, and then the pitch came right at him. So Kraus is hit. And now bases loaded, nobody out for Evan Spry.
Good chance to bust this game wide open.
I would say so.
Cougars, especially with the guys you got coming up.
Nelson's first offering taken for a strike. Spry today with a single, or with a couple of walks and a fly out to center. So 0 for 1. Ball gets by, and here comes Dan Blomgren. There's going to be at the plate. He slides in safe ahead of the throw back to the pitcher. And Craig with a run. It's 6-4 Cougars.
Great instincts there from Dan Blomgren. He didn't hesitate at all. As soon as he saw the ball pop away, he was on his way and beat the throw back to the plate. That's a pass ball.
Yes,
that's a ball that's got to be caught.
Yeah, Sturdivant probably also would tell you should have had that. Yep. So an error in the inning and also a pass ball. And Craig with a quick run as Jack Blomgren moves to third. Kraus up to second. And it's 1-1 to Evan Spry with nobody out. Swings and pulls one just outside first base. So Spry in the hole at 1 and 2. Jacob Campbell on deck, who I'm sure would just love to see the bases loaded.
He's drooling.
Here's the pitch. That one, a looper into left field, and that will score a run. So Spry with a little looping shot to left field, and Craig with its second run. It's 7-4, 10th hit of the day for the Cougars. And first and third still with nobody out, and now Campbell will bat.
Like I say, the floodgates have opened, and now you've got your best hitter up. 7-4, still nobody out. And, Riley Nelson right now is not fooling anybody.
No, I would say not. Seems like he's just been thrown to the wolves.
Yep.
And they are eating him alive. Hit by Campbell to right center. This is at least a double. It one hops the wall. 2 runs are going to score. Nope, they're going to hold the runner at third base. Campbell in with an RBI double. It is now 8-4 Cougars.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Jake Campbell is just on a ridiculous roll right now. He is hitting everything hard.
And Coach Stoddy will come out.
Everything hard.
And Riley Nelson probably doesn't know what hit him at this point, aside from a bunch of Cougar bats. But you're one of the top teams in the state, and again, you get an opportunity and you jump on it. This is what you can do.
Yeah,
to
and
a
that's
top
the one
10
thing
team.
about a game like this is why you can get excited because of the talent on the field and the rankings and all, but you can't get overly excited simply because, obviously you're not seeing Burlington's ace today.
Right.
This is a non-conference game, and Craig's not throwing their ace, so to speak. So you're, in some ways, it's a little bit deceiving, but certainly it's good to see Craig open up the floodgates and start pouring it on here.
But like anything else, also, playoff baseball is going to be different.
Yep, exactly.
Because you're going to go with your top 2 or 3 guys.
Yep.
And that's pretty much all you're going to see.
Lineup-wise and batting-wise, this is what you're going to see from these teams in the postseason.
Squares for a bunt does Berghammer and draws it back as it comes at him at the belt, and he gets out of the way.
Noah with a good chance to add to his 3 RBI total
yes,
already
he does.
today.
Runners at second and third. Spry's at third base. Campbell at second. Berghammer at the dish. Infield's in. Noah way out in front of that one.
Yeah, he missed.
Swing and a miss.
That was Nelson's best pitch right there.
1-1 the count. It's Campbell. Campbell's all the way over at shortstop leading off. Look at the nobody's even thinking about it. Infield in for Burlington. 1-1 pitch. Slow curve way up high. 2-1 the count. Still nobody out in the inning. And we are at the 6th batter. 11 hits for Craig. Another square for a bunt. Draws it back up high. 3-1 to Noah Berghammer. Luke Malmanger to follow.
And I can guarantee you in the last couple of years, with winning state last year and on a 14-game winning streak, this doesn't happen to Burlington very often.
Now he bunts it. It's back to the pitcher. There's going to be a play at home, but sliding in safely is Evan Spry as the throw came in high. Sturdivant thought he blocked the plate, but I think Spry was in there.
Yeah, he was. Fielder's choice and an RBI, number 4 for Noah Berghammer, and the Cougars up the lead even more.
First baseman, Luke Melminger.
Campbell scoots down to third, still first and third now, with speed at first base. And Mulmanger will hit. He's got an RBI. He's also hit by a pitch. First pitch is a shot, and now they're going to try to double him up at first base, but the throw from Kanan hits Berghammer in the back.
Yep.
So another hard hit ball by the Cougars on a line drive by Mulmanger, but it's the first out in the inning as he laces it to second base.
Nick Kramer.
So runners stay where they are. Nick Kramer will now be the batter. First pitch, Mulmanger, or I should say the runner goes, and a double steal as Campbell comes home. Berghammer swipes second, and it is now 10-4 Cougars. Wow.
The Cougars are running amok on the base pass. That's stolen base number 6 of the day for them. And
hit by Kramer into the hole between first and second. It's into right field, coming around to score, and now the right fielder, Morrow, overruns the ball, so there's not going to be a play. Call it a single and an error as Kramer goes to second base.
Yep, base hit, RBI for Nick Kramer, and he'll advance to second on the error. And Berghammer was running all the way, so he gets an RBI on that, and we're up to 11.
11-4. 6 runs in the inning. And there's only one out.
Let's get 3 more and get out of here.
That's what I was thinking, actually.
We're battling around the order. Let's get 3 more here.
Caleb White, the left fielder,
Caleb White.
will now bat. Runner on second is Kramer. There's a base hit to right field. Morrow is up with this one. The throw comes in. They're going to get him at second on Lindemann's throw, but no, he's in there and he's under it. Another run scores. It's 12-4. Lindemann hesitated, and you have to wonder whether that's part of
the arm.
Yeah, part of the sensitive arm, because I think they would have had him.
Yeah, I think so too. And that's right now. It's just batting practice for poor Mr. Riley Nelson. I mean, no disrespect to him, but they're just everybody's up there just getting good cuts in there, and they bat around the order. There's still only one out, and the man at the plate is the potential game-winning run if he can score, because it would make it 14-4, and I don't think anyone saw this coming. But, again, when you get this deep into your bullpen, and, again, I don't know what Burlington had this week, what they used for pitching, but I don't think Riley Nelson is probably in their top 4.
No.
And now we're going to see
Dale
Damon's going to come in and try to at least get out of this.
Pasek comes out, and he's going to move to third.
Yep.
And Nelson's going to leave the game.
Yeah, and the line on it's not complete yet with runners on base, but
do you have an ERA calculator?
The line for Mr. Nelson is not going to be good. Let's put it that way.
Okay. I can't wait for specifics.
He did get an out, so it won't be infinity, but it won't be good. Let's put it that way.
What is that symbol I see in the paper? That's a cross sideways 8? What is that? Never seen that before. So Damon will warm up. We will step out quick. So now we are back to play. First pitch on the way from Damon is fouled off the end of the bat, as Dan Blomgren will bat for the second time today in the inning.
Now batting third baseman, Dan Blomgren.
12-4, Craig leading Burlington. And I can tell you that if the score holds, curveball is popped up to center field. Campbell ranging into right center, and the throw comes on to shortstop after out number 2. The players, if this score holds, will be extremely satisfied with this victory.
Oh, I think so.
Judging from what
any
happened.
victory would have been satisfied, but to come out and
just pound the defending
put a
state
whooping on
champions
them is, that can only help your confidence even
I would
more.
say.
Shortstop, Jack Blomgren.
So back to the top of the order, and Jack Blomgren, as the Cougars will now at least send 11 batters to the box in this inning. Opening pitch low and outside to Jack. Reached on an error this inning. Also scored. Pops one up. It's going to be down the right field line, giving chase and making the catch In foul territory will be Morrow, or did he drop it?
He
dropped it.
Yep.
He was on it.
He was on it, but
ran out of my line of sight. So Jack will get another chance. 1-1 count and 2 down with still a runner in scoring position. Just hit a bomb and we're done.
yes, I'm all for it.
You like to get out of here in due time.
I just know I've got a lot of work ahead of me back at the office, and
Big
the quicker
paper,
I can get to it, the quicker I can get out of there.
Big paper coming tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Always a hefty Sunday, Janesville Gazette. 2-1. That pitch misses outside on a curveball. Blomgren with one of the 13 hits by Craig. Damon to the plate. Takes a strike. Jack not loving that one, but that's all right.
I don't know if Jack's ever liked a strike call
Okay.
on him. No, he's just a competitor, and let's just rip one here.
2-2,
Oh,
and he gets rung up.
that was high.
Blomgren down looking for out number 3. So for Janesville, Craig in the inning, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. They'd score 7 runs.
2 errors.
7 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors, and 1 man left on base. We'll head to the top of the 7th. It's 12-4 Cougars. So Janesville Craig plates 7. Third straight inning. They've scored 10 runs combined in the last 3 innings.
Well, you talked about Riley Nelson again. Just kind of some tough luck out there.
Oh yeah, let me know this.
Ran into a hot-hitting team there. An inning, 1/3 of an inning pitched, 5 hits, 7 runs, 5 earned, no walks, and no strikeouts.
Yikes. Jacob Faust is on to close it out for Janesville Craig, and he will have to go through the top of the order after Derek Morrow bats here for Burlington. And also now playing right field is J.J. Brennan.
Now pitching number 12, Jacob Faust. In right field, J.J. Brennan.
So Morrow will bat to kick off the 7th inning for Burlington. Takes a ball high from Faust. Morrow hasn't had to do much. He's had 2 walks,
Right fielder, Derek Morrow.
but he's been stranded both times.
Right.
1-0 pitch. Faust into his windup. Here he comes.
Commendable job for Wolfley. 1 2/3 innings pitched, a hit, and everything else was zeros. So,
all right.
Good job by him of keeping the Cougars where they were, and or keeping the Demons where they were, and allowing his team to pile on some runs, and he's in line for the win.
There's a ball upstairs. That looked like the strike to Mr. Blomgren, but okay. 17 innings pitched for Faust coming in. He struck out 11, giving up 11 hits and 7 runs. And he's down 3-0 to Morrow, and there's a free pass to open the 7th. So 3 at-bats, 3 plate appearances.
For Morrow, yeah.
And 3 walks.
3 walks.
And Jacob Campbell said, dude, just get the ball over. You got a defense behind you that's one of the best in the state. We need 3 outs.
And that was the scouting report on Morrow. Great vision at the plate. Good eyes. Very patient.
I remember reading that in the in the
I guess
WIAA.
there's been at bats where he doesn't even bring a bat with him. He's so talented. He just goes up there without a bat.
So back to the top of the order, and Zach Campbell will hit. First pitch taken for strike 1. Campbell with a double and an RBI. And he's also grounded out to Berghammer twice.
How about Craig's 4th double play of the game right here? That'd be nice.
I'm cool with that.
That's going to get a car.
That has to. Ooh.
Oh, that can't be good.
Yikes.
Fortunately, they didn't have their sunroof open.
Foul ball into the left field parking lot. Hits atop of a car squarely. And Ross March getting the duty of tracking it down. 0-2 quickly to Campbell, the center fielder for Burlington. Faust. Jacob Campbell sat up a full batter's box away outside.
Yep. Good pitch. Good location. 0-2.
Right where he wanted it.
Right where he wanted to be. Hope to get Campbell to chase. He didn't, but still in a good situation here, up 1-2 in the count.
Campbell, the lefty. There's a curveball. It's grounded to Berghammer. He's going to flip to
2,
Blomgren, and the throw to first, and he's safe.
Very close, so well turned.
So Morrow is out on a fielder's choice, but a good turn from Janesville Craig.
Uh-oh, Vic saw something there. Got to believe it was on the slide into second, whether that he's feeling there was interference on the runner going into second, which would make it an automatic out at first, but I think the umpire is telling him I didn't see that.
And there now the umpire in the field is going to confirm with the home plate umpire.
Well, I don't think either way you can call him out. I mean, that's got.
Oh,
they did call him out.
There's a double play.
Now Scott Staudy's going to say, "Are you kidding me?"
He probably wants an explanation.
Yeah, he does.
And the home plate umpire was probably watching the slide, and he's going to come in, and they're going to talk about the contact made at second base, which may have impeded that throw.
Right.
So it's going to be ruled a double play.
I didn't see it. Murph, did you see anything there? No, I don't know. Sometimes you get that hand in the air or something like that when you slide, and that's not allowed either. But
no,
I was looking at first to see if they were going to turn it, so I didn't see the tail end of the slide. And obviously Vic Herbst picked up something, and at 12-4 in the seventh inning, I don't think Scott, whether he agrees with the call or not, I don't think he's going to argue too much about it.
No,
but,
he probably just wants an explanation,
yeah,
maybe a
exactly.
learning experience to tell the
and that's exactly what
tell
it
the
is.
kids in practice, hey, we would have had a runner on first, but and again, that situation might come up in a tighter ball game where that's something you can learn from. So 2 down, and the Demons down to their final out, and Dale Damon will be the batter.
And kind of like Jack Blomgren with his 25 steals or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The Cougars have turned 4 double plays. There are
Yes,
teams that'll go a season that don't turn 4 double plays. So that's pretty impressive.
12-4 our score, 2 down, and Faust opens it up with a ball to Damon, now outside for ball 2. Damon today lined into a double play. Also worked a walk and grounded to Berghammer.
Scored the first run of the game, and
there's
another
a
hit.
Base hit to left field as he opens it up and pushes one towards Caleb White, who throws it back in. So a runner aboard now. And again, the learning experience comes in because now you could have 2 on with your third hitter.
Yep. Hit number 7 for the Demons.
And Damon's first hit today. So Aaron Sturdivant will be the batter. Craig trying to get out of here with a dominating victory over Burlington. First pitch fouled back against the netting. Sturdivant, a walk and was stranded. Grounded to Jack Blomgren at short and also hit back to the pitcher. I think that was the one where Kraus came out.
Yep.
On the bullet back up the middle. 0-1 the count. Faust. Malmanger not even holding him at first. That one fouled back and off the helmet of Jake Campbell.
And I don't remember. I'll have to ask afterward, but I know, pretty sure Campbell, Jake Campbell, Evan Spry, Lindemann. There's a couple other Burlington guys I think play on the same summer team.
I know Pat had told me before the game that Jake and Jacob also played.
Yep.
Yeah, did play together. 0-2 pitch, curveball, fouled back. Just got a piece of it, did Sturdivant. And we're out of baseballs again.
One up in the net. Tom Murphy says, you know what? I might go get that afterward.
Yeah, no. If he does, I'm sticking around to see it.
I am too. I do want to see Spider-Man in action.
Still 0-2 to Sturdivant. Faust coming back. Outside and a quick throw down to first. He's back in safely. Chance to end a second game this week with a back pick at first. That's how the Parker game ended.
Well, that's in the last 3 games for Craig. Jake Campbell's got 4 guys he's picked off. Is that right?
He had 2 against Parker.
1 last night against Verona, and 1 today.
One today. 1-2 count. Here comes Faust. Just got a piece of it back to the screen. Did Sturdivant. So Faust trying to get rid of the pesky catcher here. Tough out. Jacob Lindemann on deck.
The umpire says, I don't have any more baseballs.
Don't worry, sir.
Jake Campbell says, after this pitch, you're not going to need any more.
Gets the sign from Jacob. And here's the pitch from Faust. Again fouled back to the screen. Jake turns back to the umpire again. Oh, you don't have any?
You don't have any.
We're not really excited to reload the umpire with 2 outs in the top of the 7th and a lead. Burlington with a couple of errors today. A couple of them costly, and then one in the big inning for Craig. 7 runs last inning. 1-2 pitch. Curveball hit into right center field. Brennan back on it. A diving catch, and he's got it for the ball game. What a play.
Great catch.
So Brennan lays out in right center to snag it from Sturdivant. So no
fitting that
no
the game
runs.
ends on a
That's
play
right.
like that.
1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Our final today, Craig beats Burlington 12-4. We'll wrap it up after this from Charlie's Place and City Car Star on WCLO Janesville Beloit and online at WCLO.com.
Whether it's one of our specialty burgers or the legendary Charlie Burger we all know and love, everything that comes out of our kitchen is made to make your mouth happy. Hi, this is Dennis from Charlie's Place, and I'd like to invite you to come down for lunch or dinner and watch the games on our big screens where you'll be watching with friends. Find us on Facebook.